find it. We don't want to be searching the cloud.
Right.
Okay, so Kim can hear, Ingrid's hearing. We've got a few others we got some audio there with my non-audio group. Yay, I think. Okay, wonderful, Dorothy, welcome. Okay, it is 6 o'clock and we've got a nice full group in here. I'd like to get started on time. If you are interested in asking me a question at any point, just open up the chat box and type your question in. I will be checking that periodically. My name is Dawn Monroe. I am a Microsoft Office Specialist Master Level. I've been teaching computer classes since the mid-90s, really. I started, computers started hitting the desks and I was running around helping coworkers. And so I ended up just getting a job and starting to learn softwares and teaching them. So I've done that off and on for about 25 years now. Publisher is one I like to do. I haven't got a chance to teach Publisher as much as I want to. It's a desktop publishing program, and it may be brand new to a few of you out there. So I'm excited to share it with you. And again, if you have any questions while we're working, just jump into the chat window, and I will check that occasionally. I see a few comments there now. Okay, so a couple people having trouble with audio. Let me stick this right in front of my face. How is that audio for you now? Somebody said it's going in and out. Stick it right in front of my mug here. Okay. Okay, a few of you having trouble hearing. Okay, picture's gone. Okay, audio is working. Somebody's lost picture. Okay, Tamara, do you see me? You can nod or thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes, you can see me. Okay. Okay, back on. Who knows? It could be internet connection here or there or somewhere. So if we have any technical problems, just jump back in. We're going to record it, so we'll have it for you. All right, so let's go ahead. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, I think we're working okay. I'm going to go ahead and get started then. So this is what I plan to cover for you tonight. The topics within Publisher are about just creating your Publisher documents and what the heck Publisher is. Okay, wonderful, Karen. I'm glad you are hearing. Awesome. Okay. So creating new documents with Publisher, what all you can make in there. I'm going to point out some things customizing your office. I really like to customize my work environments in Word and Excel, and you can do that in Publisher too, so I like to go over that. In Publisher, it's got some setup that's unique where you can put in your business information, where you can automatically input those things directly into Publisher documents. So that's kind of a cool thing I like to share. We'll go through a variety of content that you might enter in Publisher, and something very important that you can use elsewhere is the insertion of a variety of links. You might want to link text to a website. You might want to link to an email address right over to your email. You might want to link a picture so that it jumps to your company website. And you might want to link text from one text box to another. So I'm going to go through a lot of cool little things with that today. And without further ado, I am jumping over to Publisher. And what I have here for you, I've just got a plain document in here, and I put a couple things to help me get started today. But first I wanted to talk about what is Publisher. It is a desktop publishing product. It is different than Word because you can have all these independent pieces that you arrange how you need them in a desktop publishing program. Not like in Word. When you start typing, you type and it Word wraps all the way down to the bottom, and you stick a picture in there, and then you can't move the picture nicely. You're going to be able to do that kind of thing in Publisher. It's going to let you manipulate those kind of things a lot easier. So people use this for newsletters and brochures and making their own cards and all kinds of things like that. Let's take a peek in the File menu, and let's go to New. And you'll see here you've got templates. And I like to start with templates in a product like this because it can save you a ton of time. So I'm just going to roll down on mine. And hey, maybe you have an older version. I'm using an Office 365 account, so this would be the equivalent to your Office 2016 version. You may have Office 2013, you may have Office 2010. A lot of business people still do, so don't worry if you're worried you're falling behind. Looky here, we've got all kinds of, like an event flyer. You can just start with these things. These are templates to just help you get started. You can also search for things, and you can click on these little titles up top and jump into categories. So here I'm jumping into some business categories, and I see I'm getting things like business cards. Earlier I was playing around with an email newsletter because I thought I might take one of those for a spin this week. So just playing around with those. So any of these that you're interested in, you basically just pick them. I'm going to pick the event flyer so you can see it. And you get templates in all the programs. So if you've never looked at this before, you can get them in Word and PowerPoint and Excel, and these are great to get started. It tells you a little more about it, and you just click Create. And here you will see it drops that template document right into my work area. A lot of people ask me too, hey, what if I want to create a template myself and use it over and over? So if you were going to do that, you could actually take something like this, start it out, and maybe insert your own logos and things and customize it, and then you file Save As. When you would do this, you actually browse and you choose a template type. Again, this is something that you can do in any of your programs, but let's look. There is Publisher Template, and I'm just going to call this my flyer sample. I always let it store it where it wants to store templates. Notice up here it has a special place. As soon as I chose Publisher Template, it chose the folder it wants to put all templates in. And I always leave it that way so that we can get those easily. Okay, let's see. Lucy's joined us, and she can hear and see. Okay, good. Anyway, as I store the template and I drop it in and save it, what's nice about that is when I go File New and I want to look at templates that I have made, that I have saved to reuse, here's that My Flyer sample that I just saved. So anything that you redo, if it's a weekly report, a monthly newsletter, save yourself some time, build the structure of it, and save it as a template. And then you'll be ahead of the game for the next time. I know a lot of us just open the last one and file Save As and rename it. that works too. But using templates is a great way to get started. Okay, so the next thing there on my agenda, let me see, remind myself. Okay, so customizing the office. So templates is one great way to customize the office. What I would also recommend is doing some of these things, like coming up to that top left corner and investigate, that's called the Quick Access Toolbar. If you are not already using this, and I've got mine kind of cleaned out how it comes normal, but if you want to add buttons, you simply choose these popular ones from the list, like New and Open. When you click them, it puts a check mark by it to show you it's displaying up there. But I like to show that you can get into more commands, and oh my golly, you can go in here and just shop and pick all kinds of things. There's hundreds of stuff in here. And when I find a button I'm interested in, I just add it. So this part here, top to bottom, is like left to right out on the Quick Access Toolbar. So I love to do that, and then I like to rearrange buttons in here too. I put certain things in the same order in different programs so I can find them again. Anyway, when I say OK here, then I see those custom buttons. I also will do a right click on any button that I want, and I can add it to the Quick Access Toolbar. Here I did a right click on drawing the text box, and I'll add it to the Quick Access Toolbar. So I love to do those kind of things and customize my world a little bit. I do like to share a couple of ribbon tricks that people like to know. You can collapse the ribbon if you don't want to have that taking up all the space. There's a few ways to do it. In the publisher version here, you can come way out to the right of it, and you can collapse the ribbon from there. But this is what I usually do. I'm going to point at the Home tab and double click it, and it will come back and stay. Double click it again, and it collapses it. If I want to use it, I just click once and it comes back. But notice when I start working again, when I'm in that collapsed state, it only lets me click on it and choose something. If I want to just see it all the time, double click on the Home tab, and you can keep it open all the time. In your other Microsoft Office programs, there is a little drop down up here to control the ribbon, but Publisher's kind of a stepchild, and so it gets the things last. So just FYI, don't be concerned about that. They'll catch up Publisher eventually. Okay, so from here I would do a few setup things. You can take care of the business info from the File menu. You can go to File menu and Info, and here you can set up business information. This is all the stuff about you and your company. So you can set it up for different versions of yourself. For instance, I'm a contractor, so sometimes I'm representing my own business as I am tonight. Other times I'm representing a company like ExecuTrain that I contract for. So I might create different sets of business information. And here you see I have one for contracting with what I call myself there and my own logo and my own contacts. But here I have also one for my most frequent contract client, ExecuTrain. And I've set up all that. I have a different email address, different phone numbers there. I also thought it might be cool. Some of you represent IAAP or other organizations as a board member or something like that. So I served on a local board here last year, and so I could use that particular, I could set that up for that business information. What's nice about having this, and I'm going to show you how it works in the program, is you can have these fill in to publications that have those placeholders for your address, for your phone number, for your email address. So if you want to switch and change things up quickly, it's nice to have it in here. I'm going to close it from there and jump back into the document. Actually, let's go to my, let's go to that document. Okay. What you saw me doing there, I'm using the Alt-Tab key to jump from program to program. If that's not one you know, it's kind of a cool one. Okay, so another place to work on the business info is right here inside Publisher. You can go to Insert, and you can go to Business Information here. And this has a nice little drop down for different fields that I might want to use in my document. It's picking up whatever business set I had. And you can even drop it in kind of cool little already set up things. Let's pick one. Let's do this one. And what that did should pick up the business information that I want. Of course, there, my sample, it didn't put it all in there. Let's see if we can apply it. So, let's see. Let's edit. And there I'm picking my contract info. Let's try it, see if it goes. There we go. Okay, so I don't put my home address in there because I work from home there, but you see it did pull in my logo, my company name, and other information about my company. So if you use any of those placeholder things, that's a great little trick that's unique to Publisher. You don't have that in Word either. Now you have other things in Word like quick parts and auto text, but little bit different here. Any questions for me so far with Publisher? Let me check out the chat and see if we're doing okay. Okay. All righty, great. So I'm just going to look through some of these ribbon menus and point out things that are unique to Publisher. So on the home, that's really very, very similar to your Word, isn't it? You're recognizing probably a lot of things there, but they've moved a few things forward that you'll be more likely to use in this environment. The drawing of the text box, adding pictures, wrapping text, and bringing things forwards and backward. In this environment, you're going to do a lot of layering and grouping and rotating perhaps. You work on this page by page, and you'll see that from the Insert tab, you have the ability to add new blank pages in here from this menu. And if I just add a blank page, it adds it after the one I'm currently on. You see that you can also go in and duplicate a page, and that can be handy if you just want to try a different setup and maybe play with a version of a page and then delete one when you have figured out the way you want to do it. And here we have insert a page, and I could put numerous pages in at one time. Okay. The catalog pages, that's going to be maybe for somebody that is creating something. It's would be similar to doing a more of a mail merge kind of situation, a merging of something. Like if you have a bunch of employee listings or something, you could make a directory and use that option. Let's go ahead and let's get rid of that. We don't need that for the moment. Yeah. Tables, this is a similar thing to Word. If you've used it in Word or in PowerPoint, it works the same. It's a table, how many rows and columns. And if you saw when I did that insert, I just roll down across how many rows and how many columns I want. The other way to do that is to use the insert table option and put in how many rows, how many columns you want for that particular table. And then this works, just you fill it in, name, date, amount, and you tab to move cell to cell in here. And you'll notice when you're on a table, you are getting tools specific to using tables only when you're on it. When I click away, no table tools. When I click on it, there they come back. There's the design tab for things like your style of it and different layout options if you wanted to change anything in there. That would be a table. Let's talk about pictures. So again, I'm just going to add blank pages as we work so you can see this. So if I want to add a picture, then what I could do is add it from my document file. So if this is something maybe that's already on your computer, maybe you took on your phone or something like that, you insert picture files like that, and you are getting a format tab very similar to Word or PowerPoint. When you bring in pictures and when you're clicked on it, you can do things like adding your frames and doing the recoloring and all of those things as you might want. Zoom that out a little so you can see it. And going back to insert, if you want the online pictures, I really like this because I can just search for things that are of interest to me. So let's do party. Say you're making a flyer, and basically I can come in and pick whatever image I like. I like to point out this Creative Commons. That means that somebody has put this out there and it is legal for you to use. You need to be more and more careful about borrowing stuff from the internet and make sure that you are licensed to do that. I love how they've set this up now, so I'm only seeing things that have a Creative Commons license that I am allowed to use. I pick it and then just say insert, and it drops that image right into my document. And then you see I can right away move it freely, which I cannot do right away in Word. With Word, if you've ever tried that and tried to do some publishing in Word, oh my heavens, you can get frustrated. And it has to do with this word wrapping. This came in where it will wrap automatically text that it's bumped around into a square situation. So the text will wrap around it as a square, and you get options for that. You can make it tighter if the square isn't snug enough. You could do top and bottom and through. As a matter of fact, let me just copy that and let me go to a page I put some text, and I will paste it over. I want you to see it in action. I just put some Latin text in there so you can see that this is set up and the word wrap is working. Okay, you can do that in Word too, but you have to go tell the picture to wrap correctly. In this case, in Publisher, it knows that's the kind of thing you want to do, and it comes in automatically like that. Very, very nice. Okay, anything else dealing with pictures? Let's look back. Let's see. Oh, sometimes I'm building a newsletter, and what I want is a picture placeholder. Let me do that here as well. Say, I know, you know, if you've ever made a newsletter, you're waiting on somebody to send you the stuff. Am I right? Yeah. So I put in a picture placeholder, and it does just an empty box ready for a picture. So this is great if I'm designing a template or, like I said, waiting for content, which always seems to be the case if you are doing a newsletter. Waiting. That's a picture placeholder. The other thing in that illustration group would be the shapes. I'm just going to show these just in case you've never done them. Again, it works throughout Microsoft Office, so some of this may be stuff you know. That's okay. It doesn't hurt to maybe pick up a trick or two along the way. Here you've got a graphic. This is the smiley face, obviously. And I like to point out that with shapes, if you ever see one with a little yellow handle on it, it is something that will change. Did you know that? You could change some of your shapes. Let me insert another one that has some change elements. Let me jump in a little closer to that so you can see better. So here again is one that has a little yellow box. That allows me to adjust like that. Okay. If you've not tried this, that top circle allows you to rotate. And of course, I always change my size of stuff from the corner. That way I'm doing horizontally and vertical at the same time, and I'm not messing up the original picture. Like for instance, you can mess up a picture, can't you? Have you done that? If you accidentally squish up a picture, of course, get right to your cuss key, the undo. When you make a mistake, you can go right to undo, and you can, if you catch it right then, that's a good idea. Or if you did something like that, these programs also have a reset of the picture, and it will go back to how you brought it in. There, it made it giant because that's the size it came in. Okay. You also, with pictures, you have this fun little swap deal that you can swap pictures. See if I can get it working. There you go. You can swap a picture from one to the other. Right in the center of a publisher picture, there's a special little button, and you can put extra pictures out to the side. And so if I have a bunch of pictures and I'm trying things to see which one I like better, what I did is I grabbed it and I drag it and drop it out to the side, and it swaps those pictures out. Again, unique to publisher, so kind of fun there. Okay, so probably enough on pictures. I think, well, with any of these, just be careful on the formatting. You can go in and change things, colors and whatever. It is getting color sets from the page design area. So if you are not loving the colors, go ahead and change those things. You can pick one of the built-in color schemes. They've got some classic ones, or you can actually create your own color scheme. I do like to play with this. Sometimes I pick one that's kind of cool that I like, and then I go down and create a new color scheme starting with that. And I can give it my own name. I'll do purples. And so what I get to do is pick, and it's brought up a sample of my screen. And this is nice because, like I was playing with something earlier, I noticed everything I was hyperlinking came in as white text, which was not working for me. So I need to change the color theme on the one I was using. But anyway, you can come in and pick exactly what color. You're not limited at all in here. You can pick something and save it. And then that way, any shapes you come in with, any charts you make, they're going to pick up those themes. You see, there's a custom one I had made another time, and there's the purples I just made. And it works throughout your document then. If I decide to change a text color, when I get in there now, look, it's bringing up the purples color theme as the main theme colors of my document now. I can still get to every color I want, but it's kind of cool that I can use all those then. You do this in Word, you do this in PowerPoint, you do it in all of your programs. You can store those color sets and share those color sets. Okay, yes, Sarah, there are so many choices in here. I agree with you. So So don't be afraid to play with it. There's a lot of fun things, and just a little experimenting actually can save you a lot of time, because if you always come in and mess with colors because you want to make company colors on the Excel chart every week and you always have to change it to those colors, why not make a new color set and then just apply the color set and you're ready? So I like to do things like that to save you time. I wanted to do one other thing with pictures. Let me find myself some blank space. I'm going to insert a picture. I'll do airplanes. I do those a lot here because I'm in Wichita, Kansas. We're the air capital. And sometimes I want to get rid of background. Let me see. I'll try one of these. I'll try that one. Okay, so if you have a picture like this and you want to get rid of the background, it's got a set transparent color. This is on the formatting of the picture. I set transparent color, and then I come over and I click this little eyedropper, and it's cleaning out that color. So that one wasn't a perfect one, but a lot of them that have a simple background, I can just easily get the background out of there. Let me try it again. I can get most of it. All right, so that one's not a great example, but try it with some of the things that you do. And in Word, and well, in PowerPoint, I'm thinking, I don't know, I teach so many things, sometimes I lose track, but there's a background tool where you can actually click the points all around the shape of the object and get rid of the background that way too. I'm going to reset that picture. Okay, did that bring up any questions? All righty, let's just keep looking at more things on the Insert tab there. You've got page parts. This is nice. It is unique in here. There's some similarities to quick parts and building blocks in Word, but it's got things set up. So you want to add a component to your newsletter, just go in and grab some already set up page parts. Like here they have some sidebars in there that you just grab that and put it where you want to put it in your document. They have calendars. I was playing with one earlier where I grabbed, look, it's going this month, next month, okay, more calendars. So I'll just grab one for next month. And it actually is a little table. I can get in there and I can type something in those actual calendar cells, so I don't have to draw this thing. I can actually just get in there and grab one. Okay, now I've got a mess and I know I'll start driving some of you crazy. Let me just clean up my act a little bit. You've got borders and accents. This doesn't mean this is all you have. You've got other stuff. You can search the internet for whatever you want, but you might start here and just see what it has. And then it's got some advertisements. If you're trying to do a coupon-y thing, then you can see if one of those in there will work for you, and that's already set up, so you just click in it and type text. Let's see, publisher. A lot of those things will self-regulate the size, kind of like Smart Art. Publisher. Got it. You get your spell check in those, yay. So you can use those different components. Those are just little advertisement pieces. And I will tell you, you can create things yourself, and then you want to add them into these. You can add the selection to the gallery here. So for instance, if I, let's say I do an online search and I add a, let's see, I want a border. Okay, so let's say I find some border that I like and I insert it. So what I could do then is from that Insert tab, I can go in there and add that selection to my design accents, and I get to pick what gallery it's going to show up in and add anything else I want to categorize it. So I've stored it. Let's get rid of a couple things and go try it. There it is. It's coming in the general category there. So once you find things you like, you know, why not you could put your own logos and stuff in there and things that you reuse a lot. And you'll find that in most all of these programs have an add option at the bottom of these galleries where you can customize it. So start looking for that. All right, so you can just draw your text boxes from here. You can just click Insert and click and drop it, and it will make it the size it wants. But if you draw it, then you'll have it the way that you want it to look, which is always nice too. Okay, so once you have text boxes, it's kind of hard to see them, right, until you kind of clicked over them and you click inside of them. Text will wrap within those text boxes as you go. I might be jumping a tad ahead, but I like to show this. I've got a text box here that has too much text in it. What's happening is I'm getting the little red handles. The red handles are letting me know that there is more text and it is overflowing out of this text box. So when you see those red, you can drag it bigger to try to fit all your text in there. I put in a long bit, didn't I? Or what you might want to do, and this is something I just think is so cool. Let me put another text box here to the side. You know, you've seen this in newspapers and magazines, haven't you? When you start reading a story and you get to the bottom and it says continued on page 5. Well, we need to know how to do that for our own desktop publishing. So what you can do is click on the one that's over full. You've got a little button there, dot, dot, dot. You can click that, and it will take the remaining contents over, and you can dump them into a linked text box. And what makes this just so amazing is that if you get in here and add something new, right, I add more stuff, it shifts automatically to the next one. I need to go see if I can find it. I have a file. I used to every year volunteer and help create an auction brochure for like an art auction fundraising night. And I tell you what, it was weeks of gathering art and listing the art piece and the artist and the, you know, the value and all that. And what would invariably happen is right towards printing, and I know many of you can relate, somebody sends something in and their name begins with the letter B. I've got to put it in at the top of this list that goes on for pages. I have to rearrange the first page and the second page and on, the whole darn document, right? What I'm telling you is if you use this link feature, I can go in and enter that new art, whatever it is, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and what it does is it shifts everything down and it keeps wrapping into those next linked text boxes. So it takes me virtually no time if I've set it up with linked text boxes. And you can actually do this in Word too. It hyperlink a text box, but publishers really built to make this happen. So I know for some of you, you'll really like that. And then if you get confused what page you linked it to or whatever, it's got a little button that'll actually click you forward to the joined up text box. So if you lose track of where you put it, you can go, there's a previous and then there's a next, and you can go back and forth. I bet some of you are going to just really love that. Now, if you need to break that link, notice I'm getting a break up here on the formatting tab for the text box, and there's also the option to jump to the next text box. So to break it, it would bring that text back to the original text box, and then that one is empty again. Okay, did that bring up any questions for anybody? At least one of you needs to get in there and say, Dawn, I really like that one. I'll do it one more time in case anybody missed it. So when I have that overfull text box, I click the little button. It gives me a little picture. You see, as I get close to another text box, the picture dumps in. Click, and there I'm linked. Whatever I type here, or if I make an adjustment to the size of this one, it rolls automatically to the next one. Any adjustments here are reflected over there. Okay, we're getting some chats. Yes, we do love that. Of course we do. Okay, somebody used it last week. Oh yeah, the second box is overfull too. Yes, I had copied in quite a bit of the text because I wanted to have plenty of text example. So let me do this. Let's add another page to our document. Insert a page. Let's make, on this new page, let us make another text box to catch more leftovers of it. And you're going to see me do it now, taking it from this page. Okay, there I'm there. I want to continue this one onto another one. So I'm going to click, change pages, dump it. Look how much text. I must have copied and copied. There, we got to the end of it. Okay, couple more comments were coming in. Let's go look at those. Okay. Emma wishes she learned this before Word. Yeah, because you try to do this stuff in Word and you end up just pulling your hair out because it's really not built for that. It's built for your long documents and manuals. It's more for that. You can desktop publish in it, and a lot of you do and will, but I think you'll like that. I just love that you can carry that text over. Okay, good. All right, so review for some of you, new for some of you. Let's see what else we got. Let's just double check a couple things. So I don't know. I hope you are using Word Art. Word Art's kind of a fun thing where you can pick one of these funky styles and type IAAP Tulsa branch. Changing up the font and whatever you want to do to it, and okay. And that is a Word Art. Yes, it's coming in as a picture. And then you can change shapes from that if you've not ever experimented with those. Those are just kind of fun. And again, any of these objects get a formatting tab. It is more fun to use in Publisher. One of the comments here is, I've used it in Word, but Publisher, it's more fun. If you have a creative side, you can really explore that in here. Okay, anything else? So I didn't show it closely, but like if you want to drop in one of these pieces, you can do that. You can drop in these fields, not just these fancier already set up boxes, but you can just drop in wherever you're at. So if I'm in position there and I want to go ahead and add something here, there it is. And then let's say I put that in, but what I really want is a link. So what I would do is go find that link first. I'll just pull it up because you're here and I just put in my own things, so why not? Let me just go and jump to it. And so there, if I'm on my website and I want to copy that, I'm going to jump back over to my publisher. And that text I have, I dropped it in and I've selected it. What I want to do is insert that as a link. So I don't want to just put, I mean, I could put the, I'll paste it in, HTTP. Anybody know anybody that uses a computer screen reader? HTTP://DWW. It reads the whole thing. Imagine if you are low vision and trying to read a document and you have to do that with every email link that you get. Everybody's sending these long, ugly links. Don't do that anymore. So select the pretty text here. Select the link, insert link. In some of the versions, it still says hyperlink, insert link or hyperlink. And then you can go to a web page. So I can actually just paste in the web link here. And what I get then is an active, whoops, I must have unclicked off the whole thing. Let me just redo it. Undo. There we go. Get the whole thing. Insert a link. Oh, that's interesting. It's changing it to just that. Strange. Okay, maybe it's because I used the insert of the field. Don Monroe training. Let's try it out here by itself. That is working perfect. There we go. Now it's an active link, and when they point at it, it will work and jump to that website. Friends, you should be doing this in your emails now, in all of your documents, especially if you work for any kind of government agency or publicly funded business. By law, we need to be making all of our documents accessible to everyone. So my friends that are adjuncts and professors, all of the materials they share with students need to be accessible and legally compliant. And you might be in a role where you need to do that. Plus, hey, it's just nice to do because, you know, I've used a screen reader for stuff before, and I watch videos with closed captioning. Sometimes that stuff is handy. Okay, great. You're finding some more options in here. That is another option than editing the hyperlink. Yeah. So I would much prefer to see some pretty text in there. You also can do a right click and you can edit that hyperlink to get back in it. I will say you can also use this for jumping around. If you have documents where you are linking things up, like from page 1 to page 6, you can actually have it jumping around. Let's try something else. Let me just peek at that. Yeah, so so I haven't used much with the headings and the styles and stuff like that yet. I've got a few minutes. Let me show a couple of things. So if I have, let's call this sample heading. I don't know if you do this in Word. Some of you are probably really into it, and some of you never bother with it. So just a little info for you. On the Home tab, there's that Styles group, and you may have seen this in Word too. But it has all kinds of styles that are pre-formatted. I'm just going to grab heading 1 just so you can see. When I use a heading style like that, it becomes a navigation place in the document. So anybody using a screen reader could find an area of your document by heading, or you could link. Let's just go back somewhere else. Let's go back here and let's just put in, draw a text box, sample heading. So let's say I want to link from this page way back to that sample heading that I put on page, I think 3 or 4, looks like 4 maybe. What I do is I use that insert link to a place in this document. And let's see, oh, I was sure hoping it was gonna, okay. Again, the stepchild here maybe not caught up to the rest of the programs, but friends, do this in Word. When you use the heading system, you can link to a specific heading in your document and you can navigate there. You can also do this with cells in Excel. You can link to a certain sheet tab, to a certain tab in the cell. It's awesome for like setting up like a table of content kind of front page for your entire document. I'm just going to have it jump over here. Let's go just to page 4. I can't remember which page I put it on. Looks like I put it on actually on page 5, didn't I? Okay, interesting. Not working. Open hyperlink. And it is jumped me to page 4. Okay, it's not working perfect in here, but I definitely want you to look at that and experiment with it for sure in Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Did you know you could do a link from one PowerPoint slide to another one? So like you could link to a home slide, you could link to the budget slide that you hid unless you needed it. You can do all kinds of little tricks like that. So just a lot of little stuff in there with links. Let's look again. You could also bookmark, and maybe that is the better way to do it in this publisher. You can add headers and footers and page numbering. That's going to be similar to stuff you do in Word. Page design. You can adjust your margins and things in here. Again, backgrounds, I wouldn't use backgrounds for anything printed. I would keep that for maybe things you're doing on the web. And be careful with web designing that you're using good contrasting colors that people can see. You can do mail merging from here. So if you set it up, you can go right into an email merge. And like if you did an email newsletter in here, a lot of people are using I just was having a discussion with a group of freelance gals today at lunch, and we were saying how, gosh, instead of paying for a fancy account, like a constant contact or whatever it is, and some of those other things that MailChimp, if you have a paid version of some of that you can actually go in and just set something up in here and then make sure that you've got it all linked and nice, probably maybe even save it as a PDF file, and then you could email it out. So take a look at that too. Yes, you've got spelling and thesaurus, some translating features. You can look at if you want to set this up as a 2-page, that's handy to do if you have like a directory or something that you're doing kind of facing pages, or a newsletter that has facing pages. Use the 2-page spread. That's nice. Other things in here, you can add boundaries and things and guides. Actually, I usually drag them just straight over. If you see, I'm going to click over by the ruler and I can drag a guide onto the document area. It's allowing me to drag these guides, and then that will help me with setting up my layout just how I want it. Okay, my friends, that is putting us at about 6:53 here. Let's open up for any other questions. I'll send a few things to Tamara. She can possibly share out some links, and if she does get that recording done for you, we'll share that out. I do have a little publisher cheat sheet I made. I will show you some that I found that I love, and then they didn't have a publisher one, so I, of course, made my own because that's what I do, and I made it in publisher. If you type in custom guide, let's do Word 2016, what I'm looking for is the PDFs. These are freebies from a company called Custom Guide. Again, type the program and the version you use, and this is just a handy dandy little cheat sheet. And I made one like this for publisher, very similar, just keystrokes. It's 3 pages long. The 3rd page is an ad, so skip those. Let's see what's coming through here, but we'll share those with you. Great info. Good, 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 good. Oh, you're familiar. Yeah, Custom Guide is great. Okay. Save hyperlinks in the Word application. Absolutely, and you should be. It just makes it nicer for for yourself, for your other users, everybody. Yeah, definitely want to use hyperlinks in Word. Okay, great. I'm going to just wrap up here with a few other information bits for you. A couple of things. Let's see if I can get that going. There we go. They invited, since a lot of you are in Tulsa, they invited me to speak on OneNote at the IAAP Midwest Regional event May 3rd and 4th. So if you're there May 4th, you can get 2 hours of OneNote live and in person with me in Topeka, Kansas. Okay. I also wanted to share, oops, I didn't mean to move. I also wanted to share with you how to connect with me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. Dawn Monroe Training. You can email me, learn@dawnmonroetraining. And you see I have a website. So I would love to connect with all of you. Come find me on LinkedIn or follow my Facebook page. I put tips and tricks all the time, and I'd love to share those with you. I've also asked my friends at ExecuTrain, hey, some of my new IAAP friends might like to take one of the full-day classes, and these can be taken in person in Wichita or live online. We send you a book, we send you files, and you can get online for a 9 to 4 Central Time class. And if you want to do that, you can visit the ExecuTrain website, ExecuTrain of Wichita, and visit that class schedule. And you can find all that from my other information. And that's all I have for you, my friends. I hope that was helpful. I think I've got another few comments. Let me just look at those. Okay, great, great, great. Cap point certificates. So yes, your IAAP, they coordinated all this, and they will help you with the recert points. Also, after I did OneNote last week, I got invited to be a subject matter expert at a capstone boot camp in August in Kansas City. So some of you getting ready to prep for that, then I'm going to be there. So anyway, I hope to see you again, and reach out to me. If you ever have questions, it is okay to email and ask me. I am always happy to send you a couple links and get you started again. Enjoyed it. Thank you, everyone.